Today we're going to get an update on the Red Sea Nano and the mystery of the disappearing fish. Hey guys, Devin with ReefDudes. Now it's been a little while since I did an update on the Red Sea Nano, so today is the day. But a few weird things have happened over the past month or so. Last month I was out of town for a couple weeks for work. When I came back, some of my fish mysteriously disappeared. Not a sign of them at all. And I also had a lid on the tank, so they couldn't have jumped. So something happened to them. Maybe the cleanup crew may have taken care of them. I don't know, it's hard to say. But I had 2 fish disappear on me. Now when I got back, I thought it was kind of weird. Couldn't find them, maybe they were hiding. Regardless, I did a big water change. Now I waited a week or two to make sure everything was fine. Still didn't see the fish, so then I added 2 more fish. Same thing, they're in there a couple days, no issues. All of a sudden, boom, they disappeared again. No trace, absolutely nothing. So I have no idea what happened. I do leave a top on the tank 99% of the time, so it's not likely they couldn't have jumped. They can only hide for so long, and I'm still a little bit baffled, to be honest. Testing the tank, there's been no issues with it. Everything is perfectly in check. So it kind of leads me to think maybe it was one of the cleanup crew. So looking at the tank, I got sexy shrimp, wouldn't be an issue. We also got an orange lip conch snail, same thing, not an issue. Now I was fighting bubble allergy, which leads me to potentially the emerald crabs. Now normally emerald crabs are not an issue. They're for the most part omnivores, but they will eat meat and they can be opportunistic. I have read the odd story of them potentially snatching or eating either a weak or a sleeping fish. So it's not likely, but it's definitely a possibility. So now I'm kind of hesitant to add more fish at the moment, to be honest, because I know I added 3 emerald crabs in the past, and 2 of them might be perfect and 1 of them could be a punk, but it's hard to say for sure. I absolutely have no idea, this is complete speculation, but at the current moment it's my only real theory. And the part that I have not found any bodies, remains, nothing dried up on the floor, nothing, completely vanished out of thin air. Now aside from the fish, all the inverts are in there, all the sexy shrimp, all my other little creatures are perfectly there. It's only the fish that disappeared, which is still kind of weird. Now if we look on the coral side, the coral are absolutely happy and thriving. All the corals are growing like crazy. One thing I thought was kind of funny, a couple of these corals, they have absolutely shot up. They've almost doubled in size, but the new growth has been very tall and kind of skinny. That's probably due to not a ton of flow compared to the previous tank they're in. So I may add the power head back into the tank and see if that changes things. But you can kind of see all the new growth is very skinny on top of the old frag. So awesome, awesome growth. For dosing, I've been using the Red Sea Coral Care program, and it's been going very well. Again, the only weird kind of funky thing is just some of the growth patterns, but the corals are exploding. The growth is looking awesome. This guy's absolutely huge. His colors are awesome. He's huge, big, and puffy. Also the rainbow monty what I added a little, not too long ago. That thing's been crusting. It's going on the rocks. The fathead dendros, these is a ton of new baby heads. These guys are very happy. So they're getting a bit of food. If you look on the top here, these guys, they are, you can see the old growth is that thick chunk to about there. That's all the original frag. That big long spurt is new growth of the last couple months. So they've been growing like crazy, but the new growth is very skinny, which I always thought was kind of funky. So you can kind of see the new growth, but even on that one, you can kind of see the old growth is about there, and then poop, that's all new growth. So it's really kind of weird how they're growing, and I think that's just because they're not getting blasted with flow like they were in the big tank. If we come down the tank, looking down here, the toadstool is nice and big, opening up. We got the yellow hammer, which is looking pretty good and happy. All the acans are the micromusa. Same with these guys, they're super big, fluffy heads. We got a little sexy shrimp couple hiding throughout the tank. Those guys have been doing well. This one at the top, this was the Palmer's Blue Pora. This guy is more of a greeny color, it's more of a baby blue in my tank, so the colors did change a bit from tank to tank. The Sunny D is getting lots of light, they're pretty happy. I can't say how many heads have grown, but it's definitely getting a lot more fuller. On the side here, that guy fell over, gotta fix him. The Rainbow Torch, this guy has exploded. He was one single tiny head, and now that has to be at least 2 heads in there. It's huge, and they're massive. The colors are amazing. It doesn't quite show it on camera, but it goes from the purples to all the golds and kind of the whole rainbow color. Like, they look better in the Nano than they do in my big tank. Aside from that, same with the trumpet corals. These guys are a fairly new addition. Super big fluffy heads. We got a little chunk of orange setosa. Up on the top, there's one other addition. It's a blue encrusting, it's kind of like a Monty. I'm not quite sure what that guy is, but it's not quite showing up on camera, but it's baby blue body with kind of purple polyps. Very cool looking coral. And the little green one up on top hasn't had a huge change, but these guys have absolutely exploded in the Nano. Now, as for all the little creatures are still in there, we got a sexy shrimp down there. There's usually another guy that hangs out somewhere up tall. We got a ton of snails. We got the orange lip conch. That guy's been getting happy. We got another sexy shrimp up there. So it is still kind of weird to me that a couple of the fish have disappeared. None of the inverts have been affected at all. So I kind of think there may be somebody rogue in there causing trouble, but it's hard to say for sure. So as we come down to the stand, we've got our motion lights have been working very well. This doser has been doing a great job, although it's still leaking a little bit on the one head, so I got to change this tubing still. I tried putting a little tie on it, still leaks a little bit. All the other ones are fine, so I think it's just that tubing on the bottom, because it only is on the bottom. Aside from that, it's been working very well. I got the 3D print in the DIY dosing containers doing well. Auto top off is still working like a champ. Different little dosing line to mount the probes, and it's been happy down here. A couple little tweaks I want to do. I still have the eCoral controller, which has just been sitting on the side, so I actually want to get this mounted nicely inside the stand one of these days. Might be next on the list. As for a bit of update on the eCoral, that has been doing a good job on the tank. I have no complaints about it. My probes are just kind of dangling in there, so it's on my to-do list to kind of mount some of the stuff nicely. And there's a couple, in my original video, there's a couple little things with the app, like the timer, that was a little bit of an issue because it wasn't updating when it went back to it. It still worked fine. In their most recent update, I saw they fixed that, which actually made me really happy. So it's awesome to see they're actually implementing feedback based on the customers, so that's really cool to see. Got the nice top on the tank. AI prime lights obviously been doing a good job because I'm getting tons of good growth within the tank itself. So I have a bit of a question for you guys. What do you guys think happened to the fish? If you guys got any ideas or any theories, let me know in the comments below, because honestly it is still a mystery to me. Now if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure you guys subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next update.